Hi, I'm Corrigan, the Director of Product Management at Urjanet.
And I'm Mike Hudson, VP of Alternative Data Products at Equifax.
Today, we want to talk to you about how Equifax and Urjanet have partnered up to expand access to credit with a new solution called Payment Insights.
Payment Insights can help with three areas of your business: improves access to credit and/or reduces risk with an FCRA compliant report that supports adverse action. Two, it verifies address and occupancy by digitizing paper statement requirements. And three, it expedites bill payment onboarding by pre-populating account info that's tedious and error-prone to enter manually.
Before we get started with a demo, I'd like to spend a moment to highlight why this is so important. There are 63 million American adults who could be classified as unbanked or underbanked. These individuals are often declined by lenders due to lack of data. The good news here is that 90% of them, that's almost 57 million, have at least one utility account in their name. And these customers typically are spending up to 22% of their disposable income on utility bills. With utility payment data, lenders can verify and qualify more of these borrowers.
So a person who pays utility bills on time is likely a strong candidate for future on-time payments. By empowering these consumers to share their payment history, you're giving them a second chance to prove they're credit worthy, even though their traditional score says otherwise. This information can give you a powerful lift, so you can say yes to more. We've actually seen this as well in our own analysis. We looked at millions of consumers across the US and determined that 5.5 million US consumers would be able to move from unscorable or subprime into the prime or near prime. And that's when we add utility, telecom, and other types of non-traditional credit data that are used in credit decisions. And now we'd like to show you how easily consumers can share this type of information. Corrigan?
So for this demo, let's say that I'm a borrower. This is one example of what a borrower workflow might look like. Let's say that I've applied for a loan and it's been determined that there wasn't enough data on me. Instead of declining, I could be presented with a way to provide my utility data to help the credit decision. You can connect your utility account in 2 easy steps. Step 1, the borrower searches for their utility service in the drop-down menu here. So I'm going to type in Georgia Power, select, and hit Next. Step 2, they enter their account credentials. Mine have been pre-populated here. I'll agree to the terms of use and privacy policy and hit Submit. And that's the borrower workflow. It's that simple. Now in the background, we're doing a few things. First, we're verifying those credentials that I just provided to make sure that they are indeed correct. And then next, we move on to actually collecting the data. This means we're pulling 12 months of historical obligation and payment information. And just like that, we're done. You can connect to thousands of accounts all over the world. And if a new connection is needed, all it takes is a set of login credentials, and we do the rest. You can easily integrate this into your current e-commerce workflow, giving a second chance to applicants that are initially declined for insufficient credit data or are outside of your score thresholds. Mike is now going to show you the report that's created behind the scenes.
So Payment Insights is delivered primarily as a JSON or machine readable format. But here I'm going to show you a human readable PDF that we can also produce and or customize for you, our clients. What we wanted to do in this case is create a report that felt and looked and was just as useful as a traditional credit report. And so that's what we did. We took all that great source data through linking the accounts that is normalized, and we created a payment grid that can come along with it that can be very useful in all sorts of decisions. So let's go through that now. You can see here that we have what would be referred to as traditional header information. So you've got name, you've got address, you've got other addresses that are associated with that consumer. You can see last 4 digits of a social, birth date, And then once we get beyond that, we get into the meat of the report. You can see here that we now get into accounts. So whether it's a utility account or a wireless account, we have the payment grid right there. So that distills, again, all that information into whether someone is actually paying on time. Were they current? Were they 30, 60, or 90 days late? What does that look like? What was their high balance? What is their average monthly payment? All attributes that are traditionally used in credit risk decisions. So when you take this along with the source statement data, you can absolutely improve access to credit or reduce risk. You can verify address and occupancy. So you get all this information. There's the billing address, there's the service address, there's even usage. So you know whether it's an unoccupied home effectively or whether it's an occupied home. And that matters in some decisions as well. And then finally, again, you can expedite bill payment onboarding. Rather than have consumers enter in all this information, they link their accounts, it all gets pulled in and pre-populated in a nice, easy way. And ultimately what that means is you can delight your customers.
Thank you for tuning in to learn more about how you can expand your market by incorporating utility bill data into your risk decisioning process. To learn more about Urjanet's technology and a wide range of other use cases for utility account data, please visit urjanet.com.
And to learn more about payment insights specifically, please visit Equifax.com.